More than a week left in 2011, and a deadlock over taxes in Washington could mean a smaller paycheck for you in the new year. Hi, everybody. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Darren Kramer.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. President Obama urging House and Senate leaders to come back to Washington to pass an extension of the payroll tax cut.
But House Republicans call the 2-month extension approved by both parties in the Senate not good enough in the latest example of partisan gridlock in the nation's capital.
Chief political correspondent Mark Davis joins us live from our Hartford newsroom with what the looming tax hike means to you and what Connecticut's members of Congress are now saying about it. Mark?
Hi, Sonia and Darren. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. Of course, in telling the story, it's important to remember that all of Connecticut's members of Congress are Democrats. But the bottom line for you is that if something doesn't happen in Washington by New Year's Eve, your first paycheck in the new year will be smaller. 5th District Congressman Chris Murphy is one of the 435 members of Congress back home after the U.S. House voted down the extension of the payroll tax cut.
If the Republicans in the House want to let go of it as a hostage, then I'll go back there in a heartbeat.
If nothing changes in the next 10 days, those making $25,000 a year will see a tax hike in their biweekly paycheck of about $20. If you make about $40,000 a year, the biweekly tax hike is about $30. $50,000 a year, biweekly tax hike about $40. If you make about $75,000 a year, the biweekly tax hike will be about $60. Even though Republicans in the U.S. Senate joined with the Democrats to extend this tax cut for another 2 months in order to buy time to work on a longer extension, the House voted it down 229 to 193 and went home for the holidays.
Unfortunately, a small minority of extreme right-wingers in the House has held it hostage and really threatens to play havoc with the entire American economy.
Some economists say this tax hike will curtail buying and slow down growth.
People need to know why it happened. The Republicans in the Senate joined with the Democrats, and the Tea Party Republicans in the House chose to vote against this compromise.
We would much prefer to substitute this gimmick with broad-based tax reform, which helps the entire middle class and job creators.
My hope is that those members of the House of Representatives now at home are hearing from their constituents about how appalled and outraged they are.
Now, another political reality of this is that it's almost like a political dream come true for the Democrats running for election next year, because they can say they did all they could to try to extend this tax cuts, but the Republicans wouldn't budge, and it's all their fault. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.